Alright, fellers, in this video, I want to talk about something that we have all probably dealt with at one point. Well, those of us who don't have, shit for brains. You probably had to deal with someone in your family or friend group or a coworker or somebody you know, whether you like them or you're forced to interact with them in some shape or form and you don't like them, whatever, a church asshole or something. You hate going to church, but they drag you there anyway. I don't know what it is. But a setting where you have to interact with a person and said person is a Nazi, a Zionist, a fucking idiot, a bad person, right? And of course this person is fucking stupid and ignorant and disgusting, and you don't want anything to do with a shitbird like that. But at the same time, you don't want to be totally rude and obnoxious and be like, hey, I don't want to be around all you baby-killing Zionist genocider, Epstein-loving cocksuckers who deserve a slow and painful death for being the scum that you are. See, you don't want to draw a ton of negative attention to yourself like that, right? You'll get dogpiled by retards. That's not fun. So you got to be smart and pull these assholes aside in private and explain to them why they're fucking retarded. In the nicest way that you can. Not how I'm doing it in this video right now, of course. They would get really fucking pissed off hearing me say what I'm saying. But, you try to be diplomatic and reasonable. You try to ask them questions that get them questioning why they're such an evil Nazi piece of shit who worships the boots, who licks the fucking boots of people like Trimp and yet not Yahoo, these fucking monsters who are genociding little girls in schools right now. Right? And some of them it's really bad. Like they watch news propaganda that has already caught the truth and has spun a narrative, and now this person believes that instead of reality. That's going to happen, unfortunately. They watched Tim Pool before they talked to you, you know? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. The amount of people who watch like one or two different podcasts or whatever to get their news, Jesus Christ. Instead of actually doing a lot of research, finding out who's out here in this fucking world that you share with your fellow humans, and see who the real fucking scumbags are and who the decent folk are. A lot of people don't put in the effort to do that. I've put in the effort to do that over the past decade. I've learned a lot. A lot of betrayal, a lot of feeling stupid and embarrassed, a lot of picking a side that ended up letting you the fuck down. And now I'm where I'm at right now, and it's pretty sad and hopeless, unfortunately. There's not that many decent people in this world. Most people on Earth, sad to say, are ignorant and stupid and selfish and, in the worst case, deceptive. Like they're fake nice to you, and then before you know it, BAM! Cut your fucking head off. You know? There's people like that. Unfortunately, that's most of the world. It's barbaric. It's animalistic. It's cutthroat. You know how a lot of animals kill things to survive? Humans are very similar, unfortunately. But you would think that we would have all gotten together at this point already, because we're not fucking stupid like animals are. Well, most animals. Some animals are fairly intelligent, like the dolphin and the gorilla, right, of course. But I'm talking about us humans. We're clearly the smartest thing around here. Unless there's a secret race of alien beings under the ocean or something that we haven't found. But we're the smartest ones here, basically. And so you would think we would have gotten together and been like, hey, I don't like being killed and eaten. I don't like being raped and genocided. How about we all work together so that doesn't happen to us? And when we do have to die, it's because we're old and sick or whatever. Yeah? Can we agree on that? And, most of the world has, but unfortunately there are a few million dickheads who haven't agreed to this, and they are called Nazis or Zionists, genociders, the Epstein class, billionaires, politicians, American voters. These are all really bad people. their actions have led to genocide, whether they know it or not, whether they want it or not. A lot of them want it. You want to know something disgusting and sad? You know how they spread this myth that the baby-killing, genociding war criminals of the U.S. military, that they're not that, actually. They were poor. Oh no, they needed money. So that's why they became baby killers in the war machine and helped create this disgusting shit that we're seeing now. Like millions of people in Iran breathing in bomb gas, getting cancer. That's happening right now. Fucking chemical warfare, essentially. Yeah, that's happening in the world right now. How can you be in a good mood right now when millions of people are choking on fucking smoke? Huh? How can you be in a good mood? You can try to cope. You know, this shit's depressing. I don't blame you. You'll try to escape. You'll play this dumb fucking game I'm playing here, right? To try to get your mind off of it. Doesn't work though, does it? Helps a little. Slightly. For a little while. But, you know, you can't, unless you're a shit for brains, you can't help but think about the truth, you know? That's just the truth, man. See, okay, I'll give you an example. When I was a lot younger, aka dumber, because that's what you are when you're a lot younger, my favorite band was the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know? I wasn't big into music at the time. I think I was like 13 or some shit. Yeah, or 11, I don't know. No, what was it? Somewhere around middle school. Can't remember exactly. It was around that time. Anyway, yeah, it was around, I think, yeah, 1998, 99, yeah, because the Californication music video came out. And I liked that song. It had a nice guitar, really subtle guitar tone, you know? Beautiful. John Frusciante comes up with some really cool licks. Anyway, I like the song, but the reason I liked the song was not because I liked the sound of the music. I didn't even have like a developed, oh, I like rock, or oh, I like classical, yeah, I like that. I didn't have any developed sense. Didn't care about music, period. I was a kid who didn't give a shit about music, okay? I played video games, I watched movies, I enjoyed a few sports, I went to school, that kind of thing. Music really wasn't a thing that I was into, you know? But I see the music video, and it's video game themed visually, right? And I liked that. I thought that was cool looking, and at the time, video games didn't look as good as this music video. So, you know, I was like, wow, you know, one day games are gonna look like that, you know. So that's how I got into this band. And then I saw a bunch of other bands on MTV, and I didn't like them as much, so I basically settled on the Chili Peppers being my favorite band, you know? And of course, you know, this was at a time, late 90s, the internet really hadn't blossomed yet, so you could only really get in touch with music through other people that you talk to, and albums you would listen to on cassette and CD and shit like that. So there was no internet, you know, buzz for anything really. Internet was very new at the time. Like, the internet started getting into people's households around 97, 98, you know, and, yeah, this was around that time where it was just getting started. So I start listening to all these bands, you know, and start getting a sense of music. Bob Marley, I really liked Bob Marley's shit. But, yeah, Chili Peppers stayed my favorite band overall. And, yeah, then I learned that there were times where they didn't have John Frusciante in the band, and those albums actually fucking suck. Like, the reason they're any good at all is because they got this weird guy, John Frusciante, who's really good at coming up with creative licks. So that's kind of the only reason to like the band, honestly. And the bass player is pretty good. Nothing special about the singer or drummer. But anyway. And the songwriting's not very good, the lyrics and stuff's kind of bad. But, hey, you know, a lot of the guitar licks were pretty creative. John Frusciante, man, the guy has played guitar religiously like 18 hours a day since he was 6 years old. He doesn't know how to drive a car. He doesn't know how to, like, shop. He just lives the rock star life. He was born rich, but then he had to hoof it for a while, slumming it, and it was kind of hard for him. But then he got lucky and landed it big with the band, and yeah, that's who this guy is. So when you got somebody who tries that much at guitar, he's probably going to sound pretty badass and come up with some pretty cool shit. So he did, and that's the reason I like the band. Later on, when I started appreciating music more, you know. But then, Scar Tissue, the documentary inside of the lead singer's life, Anthony Kiedis. And there was some shit with him getting it on with an underage girl. And when I first heard about this shit about 15, 20 years ago is when I first heard about this. I was such a fucking blind fanboy that I thought to myself, there's no way that... I like, it didn't even cross my mind that this was sick and twisted. Child rape. It didn't even, like, occur to me, because I'm young and stupid, and I'm growing up in America, and libtarded America, where they raise you to not consider these things. To actually think that it's kind of normal, actually, or whatever, or it's not that bad. Well, then you become an adult eventually, and you see how sick and twisted and manipulative and weird this kind of crap really is. Leave the kids alone, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. But when I was a dumb fucking kid, being that stupid of a kid, being that, drawn into entertainment propaganda in America, that's going to probably happen to you if you're growing up here, which is unfortunately what happened to me. And what was the other thing I was going to say? I need a drink. Yeah, I'm a dumb kid. I'm indoctrinated by propaganda from the entertainment Hollywood machine. And lastly, and this is the sad part that I hate to admit, I was such a blind, cuck-tarded fanboy of this band, such a dick licker, such a lover, such a bootlicker of the Chili Peppers, that I forced myself to not even consider the possibility that Anthony Kiedis could be a sick piece of shit, actually. Like a monster person, a creep, lurking in the shadows, waiting to fuck with you, do some weird shit. Like child rape, apparently. Jesus Christ, that's fucking weird. So, at the time, I remember convincing myself, if it did happen, he was probably like a kid still. He was probably like 19 and she was like 17 or something. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Isn't that sick? Like, no, that's still kind of messed up, and these kids should know better and whatnot. And sex ed should be like talking to them about this and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You don't want there to be a crime here, right? You don't want there to be any rape or any fucked up shit going on. Come on. Come on, right? Let's be reasonable here. Like, there's a lot of dudes that will do... come on, okay? I hate to be a prude and rain on everyone's sex parade here, but we've had motherfuckers like Gacy and Dahmer and Ted Bundy exist, where they got away with these mass rape fucking campaigns because the laws weren't strict enough. People didn't care that much, so they let these fucking psychopath super criminals run wild, you know? Not good. Not good. So, you gotta look at the red flags at least. And the red flags are pretty fucking red, unfortunately. Anthony Kiedis, he's like 50 now, and he obviously still has a thing for much younger ladies. This guy's a creep, dude. Like, he hasn't changed or whatever. He didn't have like a phase, or everybody was doing it at the time, and I did a lot of drugs, and I know it was bad, so I'm not like that anymore. No, not even that. He has not changed. He was always a weird fuck. You know? So, when this reality hit me, like, I admired Anthony Kiedis because I felt like, well, yeah, his singing is bad, his voice sucks, and his lyrics are dumb. White boy rap, come on, it's lame, it's not good. Stop that shit. But he seemed like a decent guy to me. Like, he forged the impression that, hey, I'm not the talented one here, I really ain't, but I love my band and I keep them together, and like, he kind of had like a leadership hero kind of status above him. That's all bullshit. That's all fucking bullshit. Like, this guy, he wants you to think he's a good person. Like, he apparently cares about the environment a lot. Motherfucker, it turns out he's in the Epstein files, for fuck's sake. This is a really bad look. Yeah, so at a point, like, I was scrolling through some comments, watching a Chili Peppers video, going, oh yeah, I remember that one, that was cool, blah, 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 just kind of being nostalgic and reminiscing with fans in the comment section, and then I see a random comment, hey, these guys are pedophiles. I'm just like, what? What the fuck? Come on, really? And then I remembered the scar tissue book documentary thing from back in the day, and I was just like, maybe there was more to that I was like missing or not paying attention to. So I do some more research, I look into it, and yeah, this shit's fucking weird, dude. Turns out Anthony Kiedis had a weird childhood where his dad was like an actor who dragged him along with all these drug sex parties. It fucked him up, dude. His dad fucked up Anthony Kiedis, and then Anthony Kiedis became fucked up. It's like a never-ending cycle of weird abuse, and then the abused turns into the abuser. Michael Jackson shit, right? So, yeah, that's what we have here. Isn't that terrible? It's really sad when you think about it, but at the same time, I can't like this motherfucker. This guy's crazy. Like, Jesus Christ. So, what do? I cope. I try to go, hey, you know, I liked the music at the time because, you know, I thought it sounded cool, and I was pretty sure they were not pedophiles, but turns out I was wrong, and they are, or at least the lead singer is. And the rest of the band, I surely fucking knows something about that and doesn't do anything about it. That's kind of concerning too. So I got my eye on all four of you bastards. I don't trust any one of y'all. I think y'all are kind of fucked up, especially the lead singer. And yeah, disturbing. And then I found out a story of sexual harassment accusations made at Flea and Anthony Kiedis. Apparently at the same time they pushed a woman into a closet and started groping her all over and stuff. Yeah. And then I saw interviews from back in the day where they were getting really grabby with ladies. And one lady that was interviewing them, she was really attractive, you know, and she was just like kind of flirting with them, and then they started overly flirting back and touching her and stuff, and like landing kisses on her cheek, and she's kind of laughing and trying to humor them, but she couldn't help it, and she said, yeah, that's a little too much, you know, like, you shouldn't do that, you know. And he did this whole thing like, come on, baby, it's fine, you know, like, this is how we show love and stuff like that. And he gave her a wet one right on the lips, you know, like, what the fuck, dude? Keep your hands to yourself, man. Shit. This is really not good. Like, they're the Chili Peppers. They put on like a really goofy persona. They make you feel like every ridiculous bad thing they're doing is just a joke. They don't actually mean it. It's just silly. They're just being silly. No, they're actually pretty rapey, apparently. They're pretty gropey, pushy, like, get a little too carried away, having a little too much fucking fun, probably doing too many drugs or something, you know, just, these are bad dudes, actually. They're not fun and happy and hip and whatnot. So, yeah, that's concerning. And then when John left to do more drugs, I guess, they got that Josh Klinghoffer guy in the band to play. And turns out he's a bad dude also. Yeah. He gets real egotistical if he suspects people in the audience aren't enjoying the music enough. He doesn't play, or he pulls out his phone and records them. And he's just like, how do you like it? You recording me? You know? Being a bad fan? I'm gonna record you. Like, really childish. Like, Josh, what the fuck? I was trying to give this guy a chance and dig him and stuff, and he came off really unlikable. And he also comes from Bob Forrest's band, you know? This guy that used to be with the Chili Peppers back in the day, and he's kind of a bad dude. Did a lot of drugs and has a lot of problems, and yeah, these people ain't good. Oh, and then Josh Klinghoffer apparently was drugged up or whatever and started driving, and he ran over some people. He like killed some people. It's like a big deal. Like he had to pay a lot of money and shit. This is fucked up. It's getting really hard to like this band. So then, eventually John Frusciante comes back, and it's like this big deal, right? And their album sucked. It was not very good. I don't remember listening to any of the tracks all that much, but I was still coping, like, hey, this is my childhood favorite band, and even though they're a bunch of libtards who won't open their mouths for Gaza or anything like that, because they're a bunch of fucking pussies, you don't want to do the right thing. They'll say things like, don't pollute, man. It's wrong. Save Mother Earth. Yeah, you don't care about all the pollution from all the bombs? Are you kidding me, man? Not gonna talk about that? War is bad, bro. Of course. It's like, you're not being specific for a reason. It's because you're a pussy. You don't want to talk about what the fucked up shit that your tax dollars and your country is doing right now. You need to be vocal about it. But you're not. Because you're scared of backlash. You got it so fucking cushy. You love the fact that you don't have to sweep floors and flip burgers with the rest of us. You like living that life. And you like it so much. You'll do anything to prevent any harm at all coming towards that lifestyle. Can't even be bothered to say Free Palestine or do a watermelon emoji or whatever the fuck. Like Taylor Swift, that's you, bitch. You're an asshole. BTS, I found out, the Korean pop NSYNC, but 20 years late. Chink Sync. Yeah, those fucking dickheads. They refuse to say anything. Even when they've already done their mandatory Korean military service, turns out. Yeah. And right before Genocide Joe started bombing all those innocent little children in Gaza, these fucking dickheads, BTS, they showed up at the White House. Yeah, we're here hanging out with Genocide Joe. And we're here to promote, the notion of you shouldn't be racist towards us Asians. Yeah. Isn't that nice? It's like, okay, so these libtards will hang out with Genocide Joe and pretend to care about racism or something. But then when kids are being bombed because they're Palestinian, all of a sudden you're quiet. You're gone. You're not saying anything. What's up with that? Oh, so I'm sorry, but I'm left with the assumption here that you're implying that white Asians good, brown Asians get fucked. Yeah? That's what the fuck you're saying with your silence here. You can't even be bothered to enter this conversation for just a second and be like, nah, man, I'm on the side of whoever the fucking good guys are. Because I'm a dumb fucking celeb who's out of touch and doesn't exactly understand what's going on, but I'll tell you right now, I'm against genocide. Whoever's genociding needs to fuck off. Who is that? Israel? They're the top genociders right now? Okay, fuck them then. Like, you can't say that just for a fucking second? My goodness. The amount of fucking pussification here, dude. Jesus Christ. So anyway, I had to run in with somebody I know, and we had a back and forth about, what I just talked about. And this person is coping. This person can't accept the fact that her idols are shit. And she's younger than me, so I told her, hey, no shade. I know you're being an asshole to me for telling you the truth about your heroes here, but they're actually fucking zeros. Sorry. Bad people. They joined the military, willingly genocided. These are bad people, man. Yeah, she likes BTS a lot. Like, it's weird. You know how some of these people can be. But, hey, it would be hypocritical for me to be like, You're a dumb bitch. Get the fuck out of my life. Because I was there. I was there, dude. Chili Peppers was my favorite band. Then I learned the truth about them. And then I also started getting a lot better at guitar and learning a lot more about music. And then they're kind of like mid in terms of like effort and quality. Let's get real, you know? Like when you're a dumb fucking kid and you don't know anything, fucking everyone seems amazing and impressive to you. But once you get older and you start learning how to do things on your own and shit, they're just an adult, dude. They're just an adult human. You know, that's all. Great man theory is for chumps. Do not subscribe to great man theory. Which is simpin. Oh my god, this person is so wonderful. Look how smart and strong and great they are. Everybody loves this person. I'm gonna kiss their ass too. What are you doing being a sheep? Being a follower? I just want to fit in and be accepted. Yeah, fuck what these assholes think. Most people are selfish, ignorant fucktards. Why do you care what they think? You should care about the decent people, the few that are actually thinking around here. People that actually fucking matter. That are trying to make the world a better place. That if not for their actions and their sacrifices, we wouldn't have the luxuries that we fucking have today. People who died for the rights that you have right now. That kind of thing. Where's the ass kissing for them? You don't see it nearly as much as you do for the ass kissing of bad people, celebs and politicians, billionaires. You kidding me, man? Those people get way more fucking attention and praise than they should. Meanwhile, somebody like Sir Dunk from fucking Game of Thrones or whatever, a decent person like that, nobody notices that guy. He comes and he goes in this world. There's so few people like that. They're not big and powerful enough, and there's not enough of them to make a noticeable difference, I guess. So the masses that are stupid, unfortunately, don't notice that person. Like, have you ever wondered why the most famous people in the world are, like, the biggest assholes ever? Think about that for a second. Who are the most famous people in the world? Elon Musk, a.k.a. supposedly the richest guy ever, right? Yeah, giant fucking weirdo creep, dumb fuck. My goodness. Trump, the orange president, of course everybody knows that guy. Oh, at one point I heard Jackie Chan was like the most worldwide known actor or action actor or something like that, and fucking, yeah, that guy's a total piece of shit to his kids. And he's a total, like, Chinese nationalist or whatever. Yeah, very sexist, yeah, and pretty racist man, honestly. Also a cuck. They busted his son for marijuana and threw him in the slammer, and he didn't even stand up for his kid. He was just like, whatever my president says. I don't care about my son. What a fucking joke, man. Oh my god. It's your fucking son, dude. And it's just a little bit of bud, my god. Fucking ridiculous. So yeah, a lot of bad people. Oh, the world is awful, right? What an awful place this is. What a hypocritical place this is. We have all these rules, but these rules only apply to certain people, poor people, black people, right? And they don't apply to, the Epstein class, the genociders, the child rapists, While you have to slave away at school and work, these dickheads are flying a private jet over your head with someone's fucking underage daughter up there getting raped in the ass. That's what the fuck is happening constantly. You think Epstein was the only one of these assholes doing it? What about P. Diddy? We caught him too, You think it was just two? No way, dude. And what about over the course of history, when we didn't have the technology to catch these dickheads on the internet and whatnot, So much rape. So many creeps enslaving people, forcing them to do weird crap. Yeah. Jesus Christ, it's fucking disgusting when you think about it in reality like that. My God. That is fucking awful. So, yeah, man. Fuck that shit. Jesus. So what do you do when you find out your hero is a monster? A fraud? Not that impressive, actually. Well, you cope. You can't handle it at first. You've invested all this time into loving this person, this group, this thing. And now you heard that it's all a joke. And you're a fucking dumbass for not catching it earlier. And that is, unfortunately, a hard pill to swallow, but it's true. But at first, you're probably going to be like, no, it can't be. It can't be. No way would the rich asshole that I've been simping for this whole time be a dickhead. No way. No way. Yeah, when you're young, you're dumb, you know? It's just true. But eventually the truth seeps in. Eventually you learn. Eventually you get educated. Unless, you're a shit for brains. Sad to say, there are like 60-year-olds who haven't figured it out yet. They're still standing outside of the royal fucking walkway. Prime Minister, I love you. May I shine your boots, sir? That fucking loser. Jesus Christ. I'll gladly do anything for you. For free. You don't even have to pay me. I'll be your slave. Master, I love you. Like, fucking gay for that royal dick, you know? Some people are like that. It's fucking insane, right? There's millions of people like that on the planet. Outrageous, right? Shameless. Have no sense of self-worth or self-respect whatsoever. They exist to just be sad, parasitic, low lives. What can you say? I'm trying to be nice here. There's two kinds of people. The kind of person that says, good idea, boss, and then mutters, you fucking idiot. And the other kind of person who says, good idea, boss, and genuinely meant it, because he's a fucking idiot. Always treat your boss like he's a fucking moron. Always do that. Nobody likes the cucktard who's like, teacher, don't forget to give us homework. Also, Ryan was sleeping in the back. Don't be that fucking asshole. Don't be that faggot. Come on. So anyway, fellers, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I didn't finish talking about what I was already talking about. The point I was trying to make is eventually you'll come around. Eventually you'll come around. Eventually you go smarter. Usually. Unless you're a real dumb maggot. But it's kind of rare, you know? Like, well, it's not that rare, but it's rare compared to, like, people who can actually use their brain. Alright? That's most people. You'll come around probably. You'll sit down. You'll think about your idols that you loved and worshipped and praised for years. And you'll come to the realization that they're bad people, and they're actually not that fucking great and special and deserving of all the money and fame and love that they get. And, yeah. You accept that reality, and then you move on. And you find other artists who actually are better, who are actually decent folks. That's how this works. You just better yourself from it. You distance yourself from the shit, and you get yourself closer to the fresh, good stuff. Right? But yeah. Eventually, reality wins. You can live in fantasy land all you want, trying to cope. Might help make you feel better for a little bit, sure. But eventually, the truth, man, it comes in. And then you just can't stop. You can't stop thinking about it anymore. Can't stop the raping on the airplane. Right? Can't, I got that soul to squeeze. Little girls, that is. Right? Right, Anthony? Fly away on my Zephyr. It's the Epstein plane. Yikes. You know? Under the bridge downtown is where I probably raped little underage girls. Probably. Fucking wackadoodle was on heroin, cracked out of his mind. Probably raped men for all I know. Sick fucking bastard. So yeah, you can't appreciate the Chili Peppers anymore. You know, I hear their music and I immediately turn it into, you know, twisting and turning, you're feeling the... Oh, wait a minute, that one's probably already about raping underage girls, right? I didn't even have to change the lyrics on that one. Fucking... Look at me, I'm making rape jokes about about some serious fucked up stuff. This is how I cope with the realization that some of my idols are complete dog shit, actually. And then there's this one chick, she's hot. She's like the best bass player in the world. Her name's Mina. Yeah, she's really good at bass guitar. And she don't get it. She got to hang out with the Chili Peppers and was like, these guys are great, I love them. It's like, she doesn't know, man. She don't know. She don't get it. Or she does know, and she doesn't care. Which is really fucked up. So, I don't know what to think of that. Every time I see that chick on fucking Instagram, I can't help myself. I have to comment, yeah, that's nice. Did you ask him about the files? Huh? Huh? They didn't try to rape you, did they? What the fuck? Anyway. So yeah, that's terrible, right? All that stuff that I just talked about. Life is full of betrayal and backstab. You get with a group or a thing and you think everything's fine and dandy, and then you learn the dark fucking truth. And sometimes it takes forever. A lot of fucking fucked up shit I didn't even learn about until I was 30. How embarrassing is that? What a dumb, lazy fuck I am for not getting off my ass to learn about a lot of the fucked up things about this world. My goodness. You know, the Nanming massacre around World War II? Even the fucking German Nazis were disgusted with what they saw at the time. It's the fucking Nazis we're talking about. They'll gas you. They'll gas millions of people for the master race. These are the most despicable people ever. And even they were grossed out with what the Japanese did. They dragged families out in front of their houses, ripped their clothes off, and beat the shit out of them, and stabbed them, and brutalized them, tortured them, mutilated them in front of each other, made each other's family members like watch each other slowly get cut up and bruised, and all kinds of sadistic, like satanic shit. And then at the end of it, forced the men of the family to rape the women of the family. Yeah. Babies getting fucked, you know, little daughters getting fucked, little boys raping their mom, that kind of thing that they forced these people to do. And they stood around laughing and screaming and yelling things and pointing their guns, and that's a thing humanity did. Wow. So don't be shocked at the disgusting shit that some humans can get up to. They'll go there, some of these motherfuckers. They'll think to themselves, nobody's done it before, I want to do it. I want to rape a bunch of little girls. I want to rape the most little girls. I want to set a record. I'm a rich, big asshole, and I can do whatever I want. Let's try this. Let's see if I can get away with this ugly, disgusting thing also. Yeah, that's how these people are. They just keep stepping it up. They can't help themselves. They're monsters. They consume and get bored, and then they got to step it up every fucking time. It's kind of like how a serial killer gets caught. He likes it too much. He keeps doing it. He's eventually going to get caught. And that's kind of what Epstein did, right? Raping until he raped so many people that he got caught. And people started noticing him doing all the raping, right? Duh. This is how it works. Can't just commit the same fucking crime over and over again and expect people not to notice. Oh my goodness. So yeah. This video is going great. I'm really proud of it so far. This is the kind of video that YouTube would take down because, you know, telling a little too much fucking truth about the Zionist corporate overlords. YouTube itself is owned by a few Zionist pieces of shit. Yeah, you know, it's fucking awful, right? All this trash is everywhere. No, but and we're all complicit to a certain degree. You got to call it out at least. Try to do something. Donate to the right causes. Fuck. Got to do a little something, man. But most people won't. It's just horrible, right? Because it's like, it's super hopeless. There's like not much you can do. You say to yourself, you think to yourself, I'm a decent person, I'm doing the right thing. And then you look around and realize, oh, great. Hardly anyone's doing the right thing like I am right now. Motherfucker. My efforts are not that valuable as a result. We're not going to see the world change for the better. You're just going to have glimpses of it that fade away immediately. That's life under capitalism. A sea of shit. Maybe a few gems here and there, if you're lucky. And I live for that shit. That's how desperate I am for a good time. It's the reason I haven't killed myself. Yeah, the world is 99% shit, but there's that 1% that's still good, that I still cling to. So, suck my dick, haters. I ain't gonna kill myself like Charlie Kirk. Or maybe someone shot him, I don't know. I don't know what happened to that dickhead. I just know that video is fucking funny, dude. Oh, man. I love that when it first happened, the videos of it were going viral, and I was like, oh, shit. When I first saw it, like, I was disgusted. Like, all of a sudden, he's got a black thing on his neck, like, huh? In the blink of an eye. And then you see, like, material coming out of it. Chunks of blood. Like a fucking, you know, like a rotten old milk. And then you're pouring it out in the sink or whatever, or outside or something, and it's chug, chug, chug. Like chunky clumps. Gooey and gross. Yeah, it was like that coming out of his neck, but all red, you know? Like picture the old moldy fucking gross expired milk, but it's a red color. Blood gushing out of his neck hole. When I first saw it, I was like, that's disgusting. My God, you're making a mess. You're making such a mess. Oh shit, that's so messy that you're gonna be dead. Yeah, like, and then I remember fucking all the coping cucks were trying to fucking not cause panic by saying, it's fine. It was just a flesh wound. He's a tough badass. He's getting over it immediately. He's gonna make it. They're saying this when he's already dead and shit. My God, that's sad. Just tell the truth. He was a worthless shit-for-brains Nazi piece of shit scumbag who deserved to die. He deserved a worse death, to be honest, but whatever. Like, this is a guy who inspired mass shooters to murder innocent black people. This is a guy who helped Jan 6ers riot and destroy everything. And these fucking assholes just get to do whatever they want. It's so annoying. It's such bullshit. And then a bullet goes through their neck. And they bleed out like the fucking piglet piece of shit that they are. And, yeah. That's a good feeling. To know that these overlords that lord over us, they're little piggies. You can stab them, you can shoot them, you can gas them, you can bomb them, you can crush them. You can break their fucking neck, knock their fucking teeth out, poke their eyes out, chop their tits off, I don't know. Whatever kind of vile thing you want to do to these assholes. Well, maybe let's not go a little too crazy here. The best thing to do would just come to a diplomatic agreement that you have to relinquish all your power, all your money, and be a decent human being from now on. Hey, let bygones be bygones, and let's start anew. That would be the right thing to do. Will the billionaire class adhere to that? Of course not. So we have to kill him. Back to the super violent stuff. You know what? In the case of someone like Ghislaine, I don't know, cut that bitch's tits off. Fuck her. Cut her tits off and let her bleed to death that way. Fuck that bitch. Trying to be nice and it's just like, no, that ain't working. Fuck these people. They need to die. The damage they've done is just like... okay, alright, level with me here, okay? What I just said was really vile, but how would you feel if the family members of the victims of Epstein were standing right fucking here with us right now? And I said to those family members, look, I know you're mad that Epstein here and his crew of psychopaths ruined your lives and humiliated your family name and disgraced you, raped you, and did all these horrible things to you and just totally fucked you over. But we can't kill the billionaires because killing is wrong, even though they did all these horrible, monstrous things to you guys. And in many cases, there was killing. So it's okay for them to do it to you, but it's not okay for you to do it to them. Are you really going to say that to these victims? Are you really going to be that piece of shit that does that? No, you're not, right? Unless you're an asshole or a fucking retard. But if you have any empathy, any sense of reasonableness, any honor, any respect, any self-worth, you're going to say, fuck that shit, man. These billionaires deserve to die. The Epstein shit's fucked up. It reveals that all these rich people pushed this genocide into effect. Horrible, right? Oh, here's another one of my childhood idols, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, he's done a great job at painting a picture of himself as a saint. Yeah, it turns out he's done a lot of work with Israel boys for those John Wick movies. Yep. He's a secret Zionist. It's pretty fucked up. It's unfortunate. There are libtards among us, many. And they're having a hard time reckoning with the reality of the violent, warlike genocide that they helped create. I'm complicit to a degree, too. My tax dollars go to that shit. I don't want that to be the case, but this evil government is doing that. They could draft me, and then I'd be forced to be a baby killer. How about that? If I said no, get sent to prison. Fine, I would say no, because I'm not going to be a fucking genocide, fucking pushing asshole. Man. How am I going to live with myself knowing that I bent a knee to the overlords? The tax dollars thing is bad enough, you know? Like, my life benefits from genocide. It does. It's sick. I don't want that to be the case. But that's kind of what I'm forced into. And I would love to grab a gun and a weapon and stop these monsters, but they have millions of crazy simps that would gladly defend them and die for them, you know? Yes, me lord, whatever you say, me lord. It's frustrating. It's like you can't do anything. But I think you could at least talk about it, like I just did, call it out for what it is. Donate here and there. Maybe do some silent action, you know, if you're afraid of getting noticed, you know? And I think that's the least we can ask of everybody. That's all.